It is absolutely a unique experience here with the Central Addition houses, and I'll tell you why. We tried to get these buildings preserved on both 5th and 6th Street as a little residential community right in the heart of Boise. Historically, it would have been a great thing to do because these were very high-end houses when they were built. Unfortunately, the value of the real estate just precludes being able to do that. So in most cases, they simply would be demolished. Here, the developer is working to at least preserve them.
The Central Addition was platted in 1890, which was the year of Idaho's statehood. Central Addition was a little bit idyllic. It was very close to the river, very close to downtown, complete with fruit trees, and for at least the first 10 years or so, it was a real up-and-coming section of the city. And that all ended when the railroad decided to put through a spur line, essentially where Front Street is today. And with the construction of the rail line on Front Street, the neighborhood was cut off from the downtown. There was a fairly steady decline that never corrected itself. In 2007, several houses were being demolished for surface gravel parking lots, and Preservation Idaho began to be a little more loud in our response to that, but we began to realize that the houses would never be able to remain in their original location. So finally, Local Construct, a relatively new developer to Boise, purchased options on the property, and Local Construct and Preservation Idaho together worked very hard in the ramp up to the relocation of the houses.
And so, we then interacted with the historic preservation community, and they asked us to open up these homes and give some tours, and we did. The folks from Preservation Idaho really, persuaded us that these were an important part of the fabric of the history of Boise. So we started looking into, well, what can we do with these houses? Can we move them? And we were able to find some really good homes, as it were, for these houses. And, some people who had the wherewithal and the passion to restore them. And I think Frank Eld in particular, here's this guy who's like the perfect person from Central Casting sent to receive one of these houses and lovingly restore it. And, when the stars align like that, I think you kind of have to go with it.
This was Mary Beck's house in the Central Addition. It was more of a modest home. It was built in 1903. Local Construct was looking for people to adopt the homes, and so we put a proposal in and told them where we were going to take it, and they were excited about it. And so just kind of in a really short time, within just a couple of weeks, we suddenly were in the mix of being one of the 4 people that were saving the houses.
I used to work for Microsoft 5 years ago at least, and the Microsoft building is just behind us. You could easily see the Fowler house from the windows, and you could see the other neighboring buildings as well. So I think that sort of kept us interested in the Fowler house.
I guess we had an interest in seeing it relocated or saved, whether it was us that did it or not. So I don't think it was one single aha moment, just several years of, should we do it? Is someone else going to do it? Should we give someone else this information? Okay, let's do it.
I got the Woods house on 5th Street. It was built in 1891, and just always wanted to redo an old fixer-upper. So when this one came along, I kind of sort of jumped at the chance. I've moved it nearby to 15th and Jefferson, and this is a corner that has never had anything on this lot, which was kind of interesting. and it is zoned for commercial, so I'm actually going to turn this into a specialty cafe and little antique gift shop.
I walked into the Jones house, and I can't really tell you why, but I said to myself right at that minute, this is my house. I love this house. The house was built in 1893, and it was built by the Jones family, and it's a Victorian, and inside has got some beautiful woodwork, which I just fell in love with. And the developer, Local Construct, has given me the house. They have made it possible to move it, and I was fortunate enough to find a lot. Well, this is the big night. It's finally here. About midnight, they're going to start moving it. From here, they're going to back it up onto the street, and they're going to take it over onto Front Street, and then from there up on Broadway, and put it on the lot. So this is the night we've all been waiting for.
What's the point? And I've been asked that question many times, and I'm still not certain that I have the answer that will be acceptable to everyone. But the preservationist movement believes that historic places add value to our lives, and that the loss of those historic places removes something irreplaceable from the fabric of our communities, something that new construction can't achieve. And yes, people need places to live, and they need places to shop, and they need places to work. But there is a value in allowing at least some of those places to be places of historic or architectural significance.